Hey, Malbacks, up on your feet, please. Swing your hands around, make a little bit of noise. Great job tonight. Hope you appreciate the show we put on at Sungold Stadium for this Speedway. Huge thanks to Wheelie Waste and all of our presenting partners for the 2025 Victorian Sprintcar Championship. All the travelling teams that have joined us, particularly those that have made it out of Queensland, we thank you. All of the South Aussies that have come over, thank you. And to all of our great Victorian sprint car drivers and their teams, again I say thank you for coming and supporting us here at Sungold Stadium. 13 laps on the board. Who will it be? Jamie's got some record books to rewrite. Boy, there's some potential customers that could win their first. Portable Isuzu U-Pace vehicle is in. Lights around. And just like that, the time for talk is finally finished. It's time to saddle up Portable. Just a little loosener for everybody. Gee, Dane Cord has got a bullet fast race car in that 96, hasn't he? It was only that initial launch builds him, but gee, it was very quick.
This pair on the front row, mate, went fast all night. GRA's been their friend as well, so it'll be interesting to see. One of them's got to get the jump, and one of them's going to get to lap traffic pretty quickly around Sungold Stadium tonight.
Clear air for maybe 5 laps.
Yeah, that's about it.
20 cars strong. Lights around. Take 2. Dane Court, Todd Bull will bring them to the line. We begin the wheelie race. top wing. It seemed like a big ride, only caught the tail of it. Gee, just as I was watching Todd at the D26 get to the traffic and his run had stalled almost, trying to find a way around the preferred high groove. Gee, this is an exciting, well, first 15 laps, let's put it that way. Hey, Warrnambool, put your hands together for Dane Cord, who's jumped out of the 96 already. What a mighty night for this guy that calls Hamilton home. He and his wife Stacey and Mocha Chris run G&C Forestry. They run a great logging operation out of Hamilton. They employ so many local people. And he loves his speedway racing. His boy Spencer is racing his junior quarter midget tomorrow at Horsham. And Dane was hanging tough for a Victorian sprint car title. He done an amazing job in the A-dash to win the pole position. Means little now, Warrnambool, but the helmet is off. Going to have a round of applause for Dane Cord. He can hear you as he goes to the medical response outfit. That's that mandatory 5 or 6 minutes. It's a wry grin because he knows how good a race car he had. He knows Corey and Jared and Hector had given him an amazing 96. Oh, they're bittersweet, aren't they? How do you say well done, Millsy, when it ends like that, right?
In the shoebox, exactly right. He was quick, great night through qualifying, good job in his heat race, and certainly took it up to some pretty stout competitors. We may mention in the call there, he got blown by, but it was Veal and Hallett, if you don't mind, that went by him. He didn't do much wrong. And unfortunately,
spot on.
It's been short-circuited by 15 laps or so. His Victorian title as presented by Wheelie Waste here tonight at SunGold Stadium, and a great run. He's been good in recent times, there's no doubt about it. Dane Cord certainly up to speed, and you've made mention a number of times, some pretty good guys in his corner giving him a great car.
And sometimes I feel like you know that, so you expect the result. You know it. It's not easy, mate. It is really not easy. What a story for Todd as well.
Yeah, I was just going to say, the guy right in front of you is the man at the moment.
And this is with a borrowed motor. We've got to remind everybody of that. About 2 or 3 weeks ago, I think it was it was the turn of the month, wasn't it? Down at Avalon Raceway, where he led the feature event, did similar and hurt a motor. Had to roll infield while in a very strong position that night. And then with a borrowed motor, he comes back tonight. That's off the back of last weekend, where he was up at Timmer Speedway, Mildura, finishing second in the National Wingless Sprint Championship. He's a super talent. Has run races in the US over the last couple of winters for us, their summer, including feature race wins too, I might add. Todd Moole is legit, isn't he? He's so much fun to watch.
You see that a lot, Gav. You see the guys getting up to speed, especially a young guy like Todd, where he's now got that experience of racing in the US as well, and it helps him through lap traffic. And we quite often see a young guy, and we saw it, with all due respect, with Geordie Charge for a long time in his career, with such a strong qualifier, but lap traffic wasn't his friend until he learnt that racecraft. Todd Moole's already got that. He's been impressive here tonight.
Yeah, and I feel like that last 2 or 3 laps really signalled to me, Mills, that his directive is very clear, to stay on the top. The minute you get off that top lane, you're very vulnerable. It was so obvious to me that he just wanted that top lane, right or wrong. It simply didn't open up for him. He had a cheeky little look down in turn number 3 on the bottom because he was forced to. So I'll be really interested to see, with this mid-race caution, if you like, how this plays out. G's been in this position, and to be fair, so too has a number of others, including the likes of Rusty Hickman here at Warrnambool. Todd's been in this position, and that 35 has hunted them down on each and every occasion. Well, the same story play out tonight for Jamie to win his 3rd successive Victorian Sprint Car Championship and make it a 6th Victorian title. Oh, I can't wait to find out.
Lead us away. Veal in second, Hallett third, Geordie Ray fourth, Daniel Pesca currently rounding out our top 5. And we've got plenty still to play out in our Wheelie Waste Victorian sprint car title.
Hey Millsy, can I grab man of the minute? Oh. Dane, sometimes well done is not the right words in that situation. Man, you've been brilliant tonight.
Oh yeah, thanks Gav, but just wish we could put a full night together.
And we talked about that. You've got an amazing crew, you've got amazing equipment. And I feel like sometimes that then turns into that I should get it done, but it's not easy, Dave.
Yeah, it's one of the most frustrating things I've ever done, so God, I love it, but...
And you're married, so I know what you mean. Babe, what happened firstly?
I think a few months earlier I got into the fence before and maybe knocked the ladder out of it or something, and then...
Situation.
He was coming on. I thought he closed the gap better in our top two, to be honest.
On Jamie as well from third. So I feel like he was just biding his time, get himself to traffic and launch an attack. Just not to be. Crash crew ever present, mate. Look at 4, 5, 6 of them right there. Very much a valued part of what this club is all about is our crash crew. Much the same as before, Warrnambool, I want you to be generous with your applause. Team based just on the outskirts of Murray Bridge now from Manham and from the Gold Coast in Queensland. Graham and Wendy Earhart allow us the opportunity to watch the likes of Brock Hallett come south and race. And former classic champion, always a contender these days. Boy, like a pancake, that top wing has just rolled right over the Q5. There he is, Warrnambool makes some noise for Brock Hallett. Feel like that's one that got away as well. Millsy did not expect that, did we?
No, I thought he was going to be right in the calculations come the dying laps of this one, to be honest. with the run he was having. He peppered away, made up some ground, kept his nose clean right up until that point. There was a innocuous little incident down there, to be honest. It just caught the right rear against the concrete, and that was that. Everyone at home gets the benefit of replay. Oh, just unsettled him a little bit. Just caught. You can see the little rut or little ripple in the racetrack there. It sort of extends its way through turns 4. Just catches it about there. Just spits him a little bit to the right. Gathered it up, but not soon enough to prevent the right rear catching the concrete. From there, he was just a passenger.
Yeah, it happened quick, didn't it? I'll be interested to find Stevie Trigg if we can see where Stevie's at with his mic in hand. I'm no crew chief, Stevie, but always watching with interest on how the car sits. What do you see at the moment on Todd Moore versus Jamie Veal? They're running distinctly different lines at times. Jamie's plugging the bottom and he's working the top all over. Todd Moore is pinned to the bottom as a former crew chief. What are you looking at as far as balance and whether the car is in the track or on the track at the moment between those two?
Yeah, I really honestly don't want to give too much away while the drivers can hear the PA on this red light. So you really got to be careful because we don't want to sell poor old Todd down the river with saying what he's doing right or wrong and same with Jamie. But to be honest, the 35 really looks like it can move around a lot more at the moment, and we always see that towards the end of these feature races.
And is it only a case that Todd would move once somebody shows the nose? He's been so good in clean air that he's never needed just yet to deviate off that very slick top lane where he's been so good. And he's just pounding that right rear on that nice juicy stuff.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. He hasn't had to drop to the bottom, so you just got to see what happens when you get to traffic, if you have to move around or not. But at the moment, clear air is his friend, so for his sake, you hope it stays clean and green.
A lot of top wings I see tucked right back in the trunk, for want of a US term as well, trying to apply some drive to the rear tyres for a number of competitors that I feel like have been caught out by how slick the racetrack is.
Yeah, well, we've seen that in lap times, Gav. You can see how black and shiny it is 3/4 of the way up the racetrack now. So the teams are probably a lot freer. Every B main transferee said they had to tighten up after the B, so it just shows you how quickly the racetrack's going away.
Certainly provided some entertainment and action, no question tonight. And I feel like that really caught B-Rock very quickly by surprise. Me too, Mills, and I feel like you as well.
Yeah, indeed. Absolutely it did. Still plenty to play out, 13 laps still to run. And a couple of guys that haven't really been able to make too many inroads at this point in time. Luke Dillon's made his way to position number 8. He was working the high group, especially out of turn number 2 on multiple laps there, trying to forge his way forward, but I think the quality of cars in front of him at the moment is really making it difficult for him. We've spoken about how well actually Cook's gone, but he finds himself circulating in P9. Grant Stansfield just continues to fly under the radar. That VA88 machine, he's in P7. Randy Morgan as well. Brett Milburn, another guy we've hardly made mention of throughout the course of the race, doing a nice job as well in the 68 machine. But all eyes on the D26, what he will do at this restart. The tyre factory of Waterville restart game will be on the circuit very shortly, and he'll dictate the pace. And it's a matter of how hard he goes here. And with a few cars dropping out now, we're going to see a little bit longer into the lap. Over. I don't believe it ever is in sprint car racing. Daniel Pesker, as we said again, going about his business beautifully. At ABSS, Devil Race Cars Moreland Holdings, number 27. Always a pleasure to watch him in action. Geordie Ray, Milburn, as you said, Randy Morgan, Grant Stansfield in the 88. Dylan. So 13 laps to run, the Wheelie Waste Victorian Sprint Car Championship. Still plenty of time for this one. Wheel has you call it even a luxury, Mills. You've been able to move around and watch what your race leader is about to try to put down. Don't want to put a foot wrong with the guys that are behind him as well. Pesker's been quick. Geordie Ray, we've said, needs to be given a little bit more credit for what he's doing. Brett Milburn